Our SportsNOLA.com trivia question of the evening surrounds the Senior Bowl in Mobile. One of our panelists knows a little bit about it up close and personal, who is the only Senior Bowl MVP to play for the Saints. Only one in the history of the Senior Bowl. We know him personally, intimately. John Forcade, the South Team MVP in 1982. and that's Photoshop, by the way. No, I'm just kidding, John. We love you, man.
Oh, I've never seen her laugh like this.
Thursday night here on WHNO, 6 p.m. with Mike Detillier. And John, we gave you a big shout out there, buddy. You ought to like it. It's all good. And boy, that one, Brian, that MVP, that really catapulted him in the draft, didn't it?
Sure did. He parlayed that into a great situation. But you know what? We do love John.
Yeah, we do.
And it turned into something good for him. I was going to say Ricky, but then I thought about it.
John was good. He made a few statements at the time that probably didn't help him.
Yeah.
I think he'd be the first one to tell you that now.
Okay, speaking of statements, I'm going to tell you this because I love Forcade. Being friends with Forcade on Facebook when you're watching football games that are not Saints football games are absolutely hysterical. His running commentary on games is worth friend requesting that.
There you go.
There you go.
Wow, we're going to have to
I'm telling you, he is.
And do that and take care of it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's time now for our hot seat topic, where we put Brian Allee-Walsh on the hot seat about a hot topic of the day. And this one involves the No Fun League, as some people call it, or the National Football League, as most people call it, and rightfully so, and the uniform policies and the uniform police. Rickey Jackson will certainly have something to say about this. Marshawn Lynch wanted to wear gold shoes for the game yesterday against Green Bay. And he was told that if he did, that there would be a 15-yard penalty, a severe fine, and then he would be suspended for the Super Bowl if he did. So obviously he did not. He's had an ongoing issue with the NFL this year, won't do interviews or does the one-word answers and such. But as a result, it is what it is. So, Brian, the uniform police, should the NFL regulate the entire uniform, including the shoes, other than the helmet, jersey, pants, and socks? Or should players be allowed to wear their own shoes, wear a towel, whatever they want to wear? Brian, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Doctor. I think, to me, this is a no-brainer. Yes, there should be. And in the case of Marshawn Lynch, I'm going to just backtrack just a touch. Marshawn Lynch is public enemy number one. Okay, this is not his first violation, first offense with the NFL. And are they watching him more closely? Perhaps. And should they? Absolutely. All right, he was told not to wear these cleats before the game, and he did. And as Ricky said so appropriately before the show, you put them on, you're going to be fined. And if you're willing to be fined, then that's one thing. Much to do about nothing, in my opinion. Find the guy, move on. But he has caused trouble, and he brings the spotlight on himself. I do think the NFL should regulate clothes, for the mere thing is, this is a business. This is what puts money in people's bank accounts. If you don't like it, don't join, all right? All they're asking you to do is wear the appropriate clothes. They don't want everybody wearing something different. It would put Gary Barber out of a job, too, if they didn't regulate the uniforms every Sunday. So I say, listen, it's a rule, play by it, and move on.
Amy?
The rule is quite simple. You can wear black or white, or you can wear team colors. It's written, everybody knows what that policy is. There is no reason to violate something as simple as what you're being told as a rule from the NFL. But my reasoning behind it goes a little bit deeper than that, and it's simply for this. People that are trying to get away with wearing a lot of shoes or different kinds of socks or anything that is different from the approved uniform is tied usually to one thing: endorsement money. You should not be able to use the public platform of the NFL to make extra dollars. That is what you do on your private time. That is what paid for commercials are for. And there's already a lot of talk of what those shoes were. They were $1,100 gold flaked cleats. Now, you're not going to tell me that the manufacturer of those shoes were not going to make a ton of money if he had put those shoes on and gone onto the field, not to mention the amount of money that Marshawn Lynch himself would have made for wearing those shoes on the field. There are advertising rules that are in place, and the NFL imposing this on the uniform side is really trying to prevent everybody from using that public platform on the world's biggest stage to make extra money when they should not be in that particular venue.
Rickey, you played the game and you wore a towel at times. So your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, just like the Beats headphones, all the players trying to wear them, but when the NFL got a contract with someone else. So, I mean, everybody trying to make money now, Ken. And you can see, even with the coaches, the players, the owners. I mean, you can get a Jerry Jones, they got Coke, they got Pepsi over there. So everybody trying to get a dollar. And that's what it's all about now. Whatever dollar you can get, the highest dollar. People marketing themselves. And it's like, and that's what you see with Lynch doing. I mean, all he's trying to do is get the best dollar bill for him.
Well, in my opinion, as I look at this entire situation, rules are in place for a reason. Rules are rules, and you live by the rules. They're structured for a reason. Pete Rozelle was smart to see this, have this vision, and put it in place. Are they very, very stringent with the uniform police? Yeah, perhaps they are at some point, but wearing the same headgear, the same jerseys, the same pants, and the same socks, that constitutes being uniform. If you look at other professional leagues, in pro soccer, just as an example, in the biggest leagues in the world, in Europe, the players wear their own shoes, and they make money off of them. Lionel Messi makes money off of those shoes, so does Cristiano Ronaldo. When you look at the NBA, they wear their own shoes. It all started with Michael Jordan and Air Jordans, and he had to change a black and red shoe to a black, red, and white shoe to conform to the standards of that time. But since then, NBA players have had that freedom. By the way, what about NBA players wearing headbands? Who knows if a guy's getting paid to wear a certain manufacturer's headband under the table? And then, of course, when it comes to other sports, we've seen this across the board. In my mind, if players want to get this changed, they got to do it at the collective bargaining table. Otherwise, abide by the rules. In the case of Marshawn Lynch, the guy's been a prune all season long. He's a great football player. He won't talk to anybody. He's making fun of the entire system as it is, and that to me is a bit ridiculous. And to go out and wear shoes that say, I, me, because that's all those shoes were about, you can have that. That's a lot different than Rickey Jackson wearing a towel that says, City Champ. And that's not comparable to Jim McMahon wearing a towel, making fun of or blasting the NFL, or a headband that does the same thing, because that is a protest. That is a political statement, totally different. There's nothing political about City Champ. But I understand why rules are in place, and if rules are in place, you abide by them. You are making an unbelievably comfortable living, an unbelievably good living off of playing a game. Respect the game, respect the rules, respect everyone else, and most of all, respect your teammates. Why would you try to draw them in by drawing attention to yourself in such a circumstance and possibly drawing the ire of the NFL in the process? It's simply not worth it. When we return in just a moment, college basketball and more as we continue, along with the Pelicans here on SportsNOLA TV.